Hey guys, it's your boy here, Good Citizen News. I hope you're all having a great day today. Today, we are here at the Wauwatosa Police Department. There we go. See if they're open today. They should be. Lobby should be open. They should have somebody sitting at the front desk. Is it open? Let's see. No. Five, 1, 2, 2. That looks like Officer Browner. Hi, Kyle. I need to file a complaint against an officer, and I was just wondering if I could come in and file that complaint. Good Citizen. Okay, and then also, yeah, okay, Supervisor Awesome, because I need to talk to him too about something else, so thank you so much. Appreciate it, bye-bye. So, while we're waiting on a supervisor to show up. Hopefully they tell me that I can go and take video in publicly accessible areas. Hopefully I don't have any issues with it. But you know, from the issues I've had with the cops so far here in Wauwatosa, we'll see what happens, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. See what goes on. Oh guys, if you didn't notice, I'm wearing a News Now Ninja tie-dye. Go get your News Now Ninja tie-dyes at News Now Ninja's merch place. Go to his YouTube, whatever. I'll post it up in the description below since I'm wearing it. Good guy, great auditor. Thanks, bud. Let's get back to it. Let's see, what do we all got in here? Building contractors, please sign in on sheet below. It's that one right there. And then the records is right there. They're open daily from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It says Wauwatosa Community Support Division. Well, after this video, they're probably gonna get a lot of phone calls. Not encouraging you guys to call, but if you saw something wrong in the video, please feel free to exercise your First Human right to redress your government of your grievances. That's what I'm doing today here. I just wanted to make a quick comment, guys. This is how they do it. They tell you that, oh, we'll get a supervisor to come see you. And well, they take forever and they hope you leave, and you know, apparently that's the way they do it here in Wauwatosa. It's been about 10 minutes so far. Generally speaking, it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it is around noon. Actually, it's more like probably 2, closer to 3. See, does it have a time here? Yeah, 3:02 right there. So nobody should be on break. So let's see what happens. Hope you guys enjoy. How's it going?
How can I help you?
Nice to meet you. So there was, I'm not sure you're aware of this or not, there's an incident that took place at the post office the other day.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I was...
You want to step in or you want to talk right here?
Can I?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, what ended up happening was I was in the post office conducting what's called the First Amendment audit, okay? Now, one of the postal employees there, I guess he was a supervisor, he was like, you can't record in here, you can't record in here. And I was like, dude, I can. I showed him the rules and regulations on Poster 7. And basically he was like, he read it and it says, entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, and these are all commas in between. And it says, comma, or auditoriums when used for public meetings.
Okay.
Okay? You're not gonna hold a public meeting in an entranceway. You're not gonna hold it in a lobby or a foyer or a corridor. Okay, so I tried explaining that to him. I tried explaining that to the 2 officers that arrived on scene, Officer Bronner, and I forget the other one's name. And basically, Officer Bronner, I guess he got pissed off, and he just really went hands-on, grabbing me, pushing me out the door, basically shoved me out the door. And then while I was in there, exercising a First Amendment constitutionally protected, or exercising my rights from under the First Amendment, because I am a journalist, I do gather content for different stories. And he threatened me with physical violence, and he was going to detain me in handcuffs and transport me up here and forcibly ID me. So I think that needs to be addressed. I'm not sure which policy violations occurred. I'm going to be getting those come Monday, I guess, from 7 to 3. I'll be getting those on Monday to see which policies he's violated from the police department, but I mean, he was very aggressive, and then I'm still I don't know if I'm trespassed from the post office or not. So I'm trying to figure that out too, because I want to know if I can go back in, because I have I'm just pulling out paperwork. I have a DHS memo from 2018 that it came out in 2010, and it came out in 2018 unredacted, that says that I can video record inside federal facilities. Now, another thing that really started to get at me was that he didn't understand that it was a federal facility, which, as far as I know, y'all don't have jurisdiction on unless there's a contract between this police department and the post office, which I don't think there is. Now, the only time that y'all are allowed to intervene, as far as I know and from what I've read, is if there's like an active shooting or some sort of like physical violence that's life or death. That's the only time y'all can intervene. But it would be this section here. And since I am news, building entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, or auditoriums for news purposes, that would be in, recording and taking photos, okay? And then underneath it, and that's in the post office lobby too, and that's what I showed the postal employee. These 2 stem for commercial purposes. That's when you need authorization. This one, you do not. And then I do believe it is the next page. And then here's the code that regulates the filming, does not prohibit photography. That's the code. And then, I'll kind of make sure I keep this in order here. Sure. And then this is for, this is what it would recognizing the fact that public is allowed to photograph interior building entrances, lobbies, foyers, corridors, or auditoriums from publicly accessible areas. For example, someone can take photos in the common space and publicly accessible lobby of a federal facility. That means, like, you know, the lobby, the PO box lobby, and also the where the business lobby, where they sell and buy stamps, packages, stuff like that, and whatnot. That being said, not only does this cover what I did, but I tried to offer your office. It was Sergeant Strands. I don't know if you know him or not.
He was there as well.
He showed up. He showed up after I requested a supervisor, after I was threatened with physical violence. Then I have federal case or Supreme Court case law, which is, where is it? Smith versus City of Cummings, right there. And it's basically citizens have the First Amendment right, subject to reasonable time, manner, and place restrictions, to photograph, videotape police conduct. And that goes for any public officials. And it says the right to gather information about what public officials do on public property, and specifically a right to record matters of public interest. A lot of people want to know. The reason I went specifically to this post office was because I've read a lot of bad things online about it, a lot of bad customer reviews and whatnot. So I went to 3 different post offices. I went to one in Jackson, I went to the one in Wauwatosa, and then I guess that's how you pronounce it, correct? Well, Wauwatosa. And then I went to one in Brookfield. Okay, and the one in Jackson and the one in Brookfield, swimmingly perfect. Okay, the post office called the local PD, and they also called the postal inspector. Postal inspector informed them that as long as I'm not interrupting any transactions going on, I'm legally allowed to be there and take video. Now that is what should have happened, but didn't. And I asked your officers specifically to call the postal inspector and do an investigation into what happened, and they didn't want to do that. And that's where we have this problem. That's why I'm filing complaints today.
Okay.
Because they violated my First Amendment constitutional rights.
All right. So in order to move forward, I have to ask you more questions.
Okay.
Would you like to fill out a form? You want me to just ask you the questions and write some notes down?
No, I'd like to fill out a form.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'd like a signed or something, stamped copy that says that I filled it out and turned it in with you or the police department, if I could get that.
I can give you my card. We don't usually hand out copies of these. I'll give the original will be forwarded to the supervisor of the shift.
Okay. That's fine.
So there's pen.
Thank you so much.
There's so just fill out as much as you can.
Okay.
And then I will receive it. So.
I think there's somebody else waiting out there. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to work on that and I'll?
Yeah, I'll work on this. No worries, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just finished up the complaint, guys. As you saw in the video, or as you'll see in the video, I showed this paperwork here, which is the operational readiness order by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Federal Protective Service. It shows that photography for news advertising commercial purposes is governed by 41 CFR 102-74.20. I explained to him that it says federal regulations provides federal policy concerning photographs for news advertising and commercial purposes. It states, except where security regulations, rules, orders, or directives apply, or a federal court order or rule prohibits it, persons entering a federal property may take photographs. Space occupied by tenant agency for non-commercial purposes only with permission of the occupying agency concerned. Space occupied with the tenant agency for commercial purposes only with written permission of the authorized official of the occupying agency or concerned. And building entrances, lobbies, floors, corridors, or auditoriums for news purposes. So these two are for commercial, A and B are for commercial, and C is for news purposes. And then it goes on to say, in applying regulations, FPS protected federal facilities, FPS law enforcement personnel, and PSOs should consider the following information when contemplating enforcement of the regulations. Oh, shit, I'll get that in a second. And then it says, this is the space, this is A, B, and C. Building entrances, lobbies, corridors, auditoriums for news purposes. It says, recognizing the fact the public is allowed to photograph interior building entrances, lobbies, corridors, or auditoriums from publicly accessible areas. For example, someone can photograph the common space and publicly accessible lobby of a federal facility. So you get all that stuff before I bend over and get this one over again. All right. So we got all that whatnot. And I explained that to the lieutenant. I also showed him. Now we're just waiting on, I forget the lieutenant's name, to come back out. Take this from me. And he said he wouldn't give me a signed copy of it, but just for reference, Good Citizen News, my email, current date, time, Wauwatosa Post Office. I believe it was between the times of 11 to 1. I'll have to look again, but somewhere between 11 to 1. I explained I was in the Wauwatosa Post Office, signed a Good Citizen News, date. Oh, I need to do it in time. I guess it's around, I'll just put 3:20. There we go. So date and time, that's all done. So I'm just waiting on Lieutenant now.
Ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Would you like a copy of it?
Yeah, if I could, yes,
Sure,
please.
yeah. There's no harm in that.
Just for my records, you know.
I'll be right back.
No worries, thank you. Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
There you go.
So you are the, what, I guess you're the evening shift supervisor?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, cool.
So I'm gonna give you my card.
Awesome.
I wrote on the back that the complaint was received on the 20th.
Appreciate it.
The day shift supervisor is Lieutenant Chad Geisler, so
Okay.
he'll be the one contacting you with any follow-up questions.
Okay, sounds good.
I did notice you didn't put your name on here, and you don't have to, but
Yeah.
you did it on purpose. You don't want to leave your name.
I have a problem with retaliation. I've had it happen before with other police. I'm not saying y'all will. I'm just saying I've had retaliation occur, and so I just go with this is my business name.
Okay.
I'm part of a group we call I work with a group called CNN, Constitutional News Network, and we do have a website. But as of right now, this is what I'm using so far. So just email is perfectly fine. That's why I didn't put my phone number, just because, again, I've had retaliation happen, and I really don't feel like it happened.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't an oversight. So
No worries.
Okay, so you'll be hearing from Lieutenant Geisler, and we'll,
awesome. Hopefully, I'll hear from him sometime this week. If not, that's fine. I know this process takes time. Do y'all have like an internal affairs unit, or does it just happen through the supervisor?
The supervisors conduct investigations.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Bye. That was really nice. So it was Zintek, Lieutenant Zintek. Very cordial and polite. Hopefully everything goes good. How's it going, man? So hopefully everything goes good with this complaint. But hopefully we get to work this out. I need to figure out if I've been trespassed or what's going on. I guess I'll have to talk to the day shift supervisor. I forget his name. He put it on the card. I'll have to look at it here in a minute. But so hopefully all that gets resolved, guys. I really want to take care of this.